So seems like send to paper is not working either. So I'll just go back to check the code again.
So this tutorial is trying to make the lights blink.
That's kind of why we do put that.
And I realized the code. This thing is able to show what number is it. However, in mine, it is not. It is not doing that. So I just started again on a new page to try to see how does that work, and I can't even change the pin. Like, for example, there used to be pin 0, which is the first one, and now I can just do that with the pin 1, and it is also working, but that thing, this, isn't showing in the old code that I was using. So I just made a very simple code which basically sets this light strip to a rainbow color. Let me just rerun this. Rainbow color, so it's just showing a rainbow color, and while digital pin 1 is equals to 1, which means it is literally being pressed, it is showing the red light, which is what I wrote in the code. And this thing, this function is never working in the old one, so I think maybe just something happened, something wrong with the old code, and I think I just need to rewrite the whole thing again to see how the problem has been fixed, or the problem still exists.
So because the old copper I was using is already been sanded, so it's been scratchy, I just made a new copper button to test with the new code.
Okay, so it's actually worked. I changed to a new copper because I think the old one's kind of scratchy because I used sandpaper. Yeah, that testing was kind of failed, but this new copper disc works somehow. Okay, so before, the code is like if you press pin 1 and make it set as to 1, it's gonna change to red and it's gonna stay in that red forever. And now I just changed it a little bit, so after it's changed to red for 2 seconds, it's gonna set to pin 1 to 0, which is gonna go back to rainbow. And I'm just gonna see how does that work actually. So if that works, then I can actually consider to just basically rewriting the whole code again in this new page, and hopefully that work. Okay, and everything's set it. Let's just okay, so I don't know how, but I think that red that I just saw before was an accident, because yeah, it's not working at most of the time, but the code is working, so I don't think the code has any problem. It's probably the problem of this, but yeah, I just don't know how to figure it out. And I also realized that I have not connected this button to any of the code, but if I just click this, it's actually run the code that I just wrote for this. So it's a weird thing. It's a technical issue, I believe. Maybe this test should be ended because I kind of did what everything that I can think of to solve this problem from this way, but maybe it's not doable for me. So in the beginning, when I was designing and thinking all this code stuff, and I want the interaction to be less obvious, which means when you touch the logo, when you touch the logo, it's gonna activate something, but it's hard to notice for you as the audience. That is why when designing is initially I was thinking about the logo here, and also later because this is too small and I want to hide it, so I was thinking about to connect it to a copper, which now is failed. So even though from the beginning I know I can buy some external button, we're using the button here, I just don't want to do that because it's too obvious, because you can feel something is being pressed down. This is not the most desirable effects I want to achieve. However, now after this option is not good, I don't have that time to guess those external button, and I also don't want to spend much more money. So this is what I was thinking now. Just wrap this thing with a plastic wrap, so it's gonna protect it from being coloring, because if I want to put this where the audience is able to touch, I don't want it to be just looking like that. It's gonna be not very good for the aesthetic reason. And I think if I can wrap this around in a plastic wrap and then cover it with white paint or some bandage, so people can only feel that this little part to activate the thing, because logo is still the most desirable part I want to use. But after it's being applied a layer of plastic wrap, it just became less sensitive. Like, usually it will work if I just do this, and you can see it's changing, the number is changing, which is running the code, but it's not if I press over the plastic wrap. So I think maybe after all I still have to use the button, because if I'm still using the same thing, which I still wanna use this plastic wrap to wrap it to protect it from damage by the water and or plaster bandage, it's gonna still work. And if I just cover some plastic bandage, the button won't be that obvious. So I think, this is some good solution I can think of now, and that also doesn't require change. Like, this is the option that requires least change to this code, which is just need to replace this logo part to a button press. And okay, so this is the newest version, which is the final version. I changed the logo, press logo to press button A and B, which means you have to press both of them to activate the code. I did both because I just want to make it kind of a bit trickier, so the interaction won't be activated that easily. So it's kind of that you have to put the right amount of effort to help give nature some more energy. And I have to wait to change the light strip once I actually connected this to the light. so I can see how tall it can actually be without trying to estimate that. So this is what it looks like before I change the number of the LED. It's gonna activate in this program. So I just need to, for example, let's say 90, and I can just download this to the microbit, and yeah, looks like it's gonna be all the way to the top.